this as a clip out too. This is going to be about the Robert Downey Jr. controversy with a lot of fans. And we have
RDJ again.
No, we have more info now.
Yes,
I was right.
How much he being paid.
I was right. Yes, again that they think.
What are you right about now?
Because after they were talking about the financials of getting Robert Downey Jr. back, they said they in the interview they said they believe that Robert Downey is the reason the Russo brothers are back to begin with. It's not like the Russo brothers got Robert Downey. They wanted Robert Downey, and he wanted the Russo brothers. So I want to ask this question to everyone that's in the chat, to my pal Bruce. Why give Robert Downey Jr. this much? And why does he have this much pull in the MCU? Because I'm not against his casting, but to give him this amount of money, and that if it's true that he's the reason the Russo brothers came back, even though I like the Russo brothers, this is like, wow, they really wanted him back. And I'm not with those other channels on YouTube that are making channels. This is a desperate move. MCU wasn't desperate, but why go this hard for one actor?
That's a lot of money. That's I don't get it, but it's just me paying the producers $80 million, directors $80 million, and then paying Robert Downey Jr. way more than $80 million. They don't give a exact number, but
he might be making more than the Russo brothers.
They said that. They said it's way more than what they're making. So it has to be $100 million or more. That's what I'm guessing.
And then the likely scenario where they were courting him and he got the Russo brothers back.
Yeah.
That's a little unsettling to me, even though I'm okay with him being Doom. I am. But Anthony Cheeseman says RDJ is Marvel Jesus. Larry says there's at least 3 comic book stories where Doom and Stark kind of interchange. Okay. Cal says Marvel is weak. Robert Downey Jr. is a cowardly choice. I've been working all weekend. And then Degrassi says Robert Downey Jr. is going to clear over $500 million for this deal. How? You mean with back end stuff? This picture is hilarious. Yes. I don't know. I actually agree. I'm not against him being there, but I don't think he's worth this much. And that's sickening.
That's ridiculous. I don't.
And that makes you think, like, what a Robert Downey Jr. without Marvel? He's not getting $80 million on all his other projects. How did he get this amount? Like, did they have to work with him to get? Did they have to go back and forth a bunch of times to get to the $80 million? Because where do you get that number?
I know that I think they said throughout his Marvel career, he made anywhere between 500 to 600 million. All the appearances he made during his 10 years Iron Man. So I don't get it.
No, but that makes you think, was he like negotiating hard and Marvel wanted him that bad? Like, how do you get to the 80 million? It's not like they both came together the same day. I want to come back and we want you back 80 million. That's like negotiating.
Captain America is way more important to the MCU than freaking Robert Downey Jr.
Do you hear what I'm saying though, Bruce?
I can't. I really
can't.
Can't.
That's not a number that's thrown out the table like day one, right? I wouldn't think that they're like, okay, 80 million, you come back. Like, that's like,
it's not 80 million for him. It's 80 million for them.
For who?
For the Russo brothers. He's getting way more than that. Yes. 80 million
What's
for
Robert?
The Russo brothers.
Oh, 80 million for Russo brothers.
Yes.
Okay. I should have read the whole article. How much is Robert Downey? Or how much?
They don't
mention,
Downey but all they say it's way more, which it goes into Degrassi's 500 million.
Really? What in the world are they planning?
You were upset about the 80 million.
Yes. Like, where do you get these numbers from?
He doesn't deserve that much money.
I honestly don't think the Russo brothers do either.
No.
I mean, they got a lot
Everything
of success they got a lot of success for Marvel, but that makes me think when they were saying we would love to come back for Secret Wars, that was negotiating through the press. You know that the Grassi's talked about that before. Other movie pundits have talked about that before, where they didn't have a contract and they wanted a big payday. But both the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. have not been successful outside the MCU, except for except for winning an award in Oppenheimer, which he did great. But beyond that, like Dr. Dolittle, he's had a lot of bombs outside the MCU.
Both Sherlock movies.
No, the Sherlock movies made some money, but not like Marvel money.
I don't get it.
I didn't know he got paid $75 million for Endgame.
What? That's insane.
Robert told them I only come back if they sign, which they did.
The budget of these two movies is probably going to be anywhere upwards of $600 million. These
with just Robert Downey Jr. and the Russo brothers deal. Now they're getting two movies out of. I'm assuming that's a combined price for two movies, right? I do think Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars are going to surpass Avatar as the highest budgeted production of all time. Are they going to get that money? I think so. I think they'll get the money, but that's ridiculous.
People are going to go watch it anyway, regardless if they hate the choice or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me read this article here to see if there's more details.
I never understood his popularity in the MCU. Chris Evans is way, I don't know, just me. Okay. How much did Chris Evans get for that Endgame movie?
That really, now I know people have critiques about gender bending Dr. Von Doom and giving another actor a shot, but knowing this Payday, that does actually get me
he's in Fantastic Four also.
Yeah. Well, they probably have guest appearances on other movies in the contract, right? Don't you think?
Probably.
I'm saving that.
That's what I was telling people the other day, Degrassi. Ironheart was delayed because they wanted RDJ to play stock AI in the show. That's why I was telling people. Nobody believed me.
No, I think I could believe that. Maybe that's within the contract too, that he's not just one role. You know, you don't know. We don't know. Okay, so I will get to your question because that's a great question, and I think that would be a recipe for disaster, Larry. Before we get to that, okay, so Robert Downey Jr.'s run as Tony Stark in the Iron Man and Avengers films would help to usher in and solidify the cinematic universe that changed the plane of mainstream Hollywood films. His face became the face of Marvel Studios, and his comeback story is the stuff of legends. Not only would he recover from being seen as a huge risk, but Downey Jr. also made a statement with his post-Tony Stark career as he earned himself an Academy Award win after his acclaimed performance in Christopher Nolan's Oscar darling Oppenheimer. That's the only success he's had after Iron Man. I'm sorry. And that's not that I'm against. I like Robert Downey Jr. It's just all his other stuff. Can anyone else name anything else that I'm missing after Endgame that Robert Downey Jr. did great in or is under, a great movie besides Oppenheimer? I can't think of it. And I watched Doolittle. I gave it a shot. It wasn't as bad as they say, but it's safe to say that Downey Jr.'s stock has skyrocketed even further. Many find his recent casting as Victor Von Doom as both exciting and confusing. However, now that Downey Jr. has shown his range of capabilities, not only from Oppenheimer, but also from his various character portrayals from the HBO series The Sympathizer. Maybe I haven't seen The Sympathizer. Does anyone know about that?
No.
Marvel should not shy away from giving him the absolute best pay in order to lock him down. According to the Variety, the deal with Downey Jr. signed with Marvel when he agreed to return includes immense luxuries such as private jet travel, dedicated security, and a whole trailer encampment. He's basically let me travel like Tony Stark, except without the Iron Man suit. Treat me like I'm Tony Stark for real, you know? That's crazy. Downey Jr. is no doubt the golden boy for the studio, and his massive take from the 3 Iron Man films, 4 Avenger films, and a smattering of auxiliary appearances earned him somewhere between 500 and 600 million. His total payday for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War hasn't been disclosed, but said it to be significantly higher than the 80 million that's going to the film's directors, the Russo brothers.
Hold on. I have a super chat on my channel.
Okay, cool.
From King's Portal. Bruce wins. Take my money today because Mac doesn't come prepared.
I come all the time. I made the thumbnail. I set up the stream. You know, but I appreciate you supporting Bruce, Cal. That's great. That's great. All right, so let me get back to here. It's said to contain performance escalators that kick in and around the 750 million and 1 billion thresholds. Their good faith with the company also comes after the previous 2 Avengers films, Infinity War and Endgame, would rake in an incredible 4.85 billion combined. Wow. I don't know. I'm very mixed on this. Like, I think they're talented, but I do think they could have got some other people. But you know what? I do think, even though Marvel MCU is not desperate, they are desperate for this specific storyline to get it right. Because if they don't get Secret Wars right, then they're going to have issues, you know, building up to Secret Wars. They have to get that right. So I understand. I still don't agree with that Payday, but if there's one movie it's the most important movie in the MCU is not Blade, even though I want Blade. I really want Blade.
Mm-hmm.
The most important movies in the MCU right now are the Avengers movies, to get the Avengers assembled again after Endgame, because we haven't really seen too much Avengers activity altogether. We've seen cameos, we've seen other things, but we haven't really seen the Avengers assembled again. And you need to keep the quality up there. So I guess that's why they did it.
I don't get it, but hey,
man,
what's it?
He's got that dough now. DC is looking better right now. I don't think so. I think they're equally. I'm equally optimistic about both right now. I'm just happy that DC can compete now.
God damn you, RJ. Choose a side. Stick with it.
No, don't choose sides. Thank God. Oh, look at RJ the Simp. Simping for DC Studios now. You're that upset about Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom that this Marvel maniac is thrown in the towel and going full DC?
Are we going to see another reinvention?
Is that real? DC Maniac? Are you DC Maniac?
DC Maniac? Is that coming?
Degrassi says DC is looking forward, Marvel is looking backward. I don't think they're completely looking backward. I think that's the one downside to DC is they don't embrace their past like Marvel does. And Marvel gets that extra money by embracing their past talent of entertainers. And you can't get that with DC. The closest we got was The Flash, and not everyone was happy with that. You know? Do you see Marvel getting Hugh Jackman back and doing Batgirl or X-23 movie? Okay, this is the equivalent. Do you see them getting Hugh Jackman back for Deadpool and Wolverine, but also developing a Wolverine and X-23 film and then shelving it? That's the equivalent to me with getting Michael Keaton to star in a Batgirl movie and shelving that. That should not happen ever. I understand there was the merger. they didn't have, that was a different regime, but that is pathetic. So I don't want to frame it or start a narrative like you're saying, Degrassi, that they're stuck in the past when they get this box office and the audience rewards them. I do think they give homage and cameos to the past, but I still think Marvel's moving forward. I
still think they should have just stuck with the Kang story and just recast Kang.
Honestly, if Kang was a success, I think Jonathan Majors would still be King, even with the controversy.
But everybody loved him as Kang.
But Kang, no, that not everybody loved Kang. Yeah. They loved him as Kang, but the Kang storyline, Quantumania, was disappointing for a lot of people. And just Ant-Man taking him out made the villain underwhelming. Just Ant-Man could take him out. You already see him get beat, and then you want to, yeah, nostalgia is good. Maybe I need more nostalgia on my channel. I think that's where we'll call it a day. Oh, wait, actually, I did have one more topic.
Well, that'd be a good time to call it.
After this next topic, or